Alright, today we're splitting walnut. With the Tuatahi camp axe. The smaller version of the work axe. Huge beefy handle on this thing, at least the knob down here is. The rest of it's pretty regular, but it does feel beefy. Really nice grain. It's a cool little axe. And like the work axe, it is a very universal axe, meaning you can chop with it really well, or you can split with it. And some axes are made for chopping and some for splitting. I would say this definitely falls in between. This walnut is actually really easy wood to split. This piece has two huge knots right in the middle, so I'm just dividing that. This is where a good sharp axe comes in handy, because you can go down where those two are together and start cleaving through some of those fibers. Some chops with a little effort. I'm not swinging very hard. So yeah, today's subject is walnut. This won't be a long video because not a whole lot to say about walnut. It smells really good for firewood. It smells, has a nice scent green, and when you're burning it, I know it is like the North American woodworkers' favorite wood or whatever. You know, everybody's like, oh, walnut's the best, and it's great for doing crafty projects. It's beautiful. This one was a twisted one that fell and has some bad spots in it, so we're making firewood today instead of spoons or bowls or tables. I may make a spoon or two out of some of these rounds. I'm picking the ones right now that have the most funk to them, knots and whatnot. I like walnut as a firewood. Like I said, I know it's a big woodworking wood, but it's kind of a medium firewood. It's got a great scent. It makes a great campfire wood because of the smell. It coals nice. It doesn't take a lot to get going, and it doesn't burn forever. It's not like an all-nighter wood, but it's definitely not one I would ever turn down. It's got the real dark heartwood, almost like a purple hue in some spots. You can see there's some big knots in this one. And as it oxidizes, it actually goes the other way. Cherry gets darker, walnut gets lighter. Yeah, I love it. Split's really easy too, even kind of a funky tree like this. Not too bad. This little camp axe, pretty good job. I wouldn't use this normally on a lot of big stuff. Even this piece, it's not the best for it because it just didn't weigh enough. But it is great for every other kind. Like if you're camping, it would be great to split already cut firewood up, but definitely beefy enough to handle most jobs. I really like it. This is really green, fresh. It had fallen over across the farm road, but it was still alive, and it was sprouting out from the trunk. Like if the tree fell like this, it had all these shoots coming out of it. So I left some down by the root. It may come back up. Or that may be the end of it. This is a piece of hickory that we got when we were out there. Hickory's a little tougher. Walnut is one of my favorite trees. It's really fast growing, so when I see one sprout along in the yard, I let it go. And now I've got some that are 20 feet tall after just a few years. Kind of give it a tropical look. All right, I got another piece of hickory here. I got a little maple too. I'm gonna try and dig out of there. Just trying to get this split one time to release some of that moisture before cold weather hits. Probably won't do much, but I know if I leave it in the round, it will attract more bugs, and that means more boring into the wood by the bugs and more of a mess. All right, let me hit one more of these walnut pieces. I mean, this isn't a very heavy axe. I don't know what the specs are, but I'm not swinging very hard, and it's doing a pretty good job on this little piece. Now it is small and straight grain and walnut, which I'd say is one step above sassafras. You saw the video on sassafras. How easy that is to split. This may be 1 degree more difficult, and I think that I'm gonna use that may be very liberally, because I think the only times when it's truly any more difficult is when you have wavy grain or not. But I mean, that's pretty universal with wood. This is all kind of across the board, but there is a little bit more of that kind of wood in a tree like this. Let's see if I can get this double knotter. That's what I'm talking about. Big wave down here. If you can see that. I don't know. I think I'd have to chop through it. These are a bit close together. I'll try one this way. Yeah, that'll go. Bingo. All right, there you go. Tuatahi Camp Axe, black walnut. Hang in there.